Okay, new topic, new day. Hope everyone's doing well. I know the lighting, I'm yellow. People keep calling me yellow in the comments. I'm aware, okay? I'm aware of the current situation. I'm truthfully, honestly aware. I don't know how it's happening. I think it's maybe the camera. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I just know I'm yellow. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm yellow. Okay? Well, let's get back to the topic at hand. I can't stop thinking about how I'm yellow. But, okay. Topic at hand, manifestation. I've always hated the people who preach manifestation. I thought it was some kumbaya bullshit, bro. Why believe in... You can't just say something and then it happens, okay? I will become the Grammy-winning artist and then it happens. I always thought that. I thought it was just kind of a bullshit thing, if I'm being really honest with you. As somebody who struggles with low self-confidence sometimes, it's like, bro, you're just telling me I could say something and believe it? No. I can't convince myself that I'm good. That's the whole problem I'm struggling with, right? I can't convince myself I'll succeed. And there's a thought that I had recently, treat manifestation like a job application. That's not like a bar or anything, not some rhyme in a new song. Just treat manifestation like a job application. In order to try to get a job, you need to apply. In order to apply for anything in life, you have to say you want it. You have to sit here and figure out and treat it like an application. Let's just say, for me, I want to become one of the biggest streamers or content creators by June 2026, make the best content possible. Literally, like, be one of the biggest and be able to live in LA, which is expensive as hell, right? Now, I could sit here and say, I'm going to do that. But that on its own doesn't really create some sort of progress or results. But if that was an application, if you could sit here and there was an application you could put for being the biggest creator, okay, if you fill out this application, you get accepted, God or whoever the universe will give you the position you desire. You have to first apply. You have to first say, this is something that I want, and this is exactly what I want, and apply to the job. And the second step is you have to make sure you have the experience to back up why you are best for that role. Because somebody is going to get that role. Somebody is going to have a big moment next year, right? You have to, communicate your needs and understand, hey, this is what I want. Because a lot of people have an idea of what they want. They don't know exactly what they want. And I think what manifestation does is it helps you understand exactly what you want. And saying it and really believing it, the advantage of that is you spend less time worrying about how true it is and more time worrying about how to get there. Because somebody is going to succeed. Somebody is going to get more lucky than whatever you think would need to happen. So a miracle is going to happen to somebody when it comes to changing the life in the content creation sphere. And or whatever you want in life that's rare, it is going to happen to somebody. It has probably happened to somebody before. And manifestation to me is just a way for you to understand your beliefs. Because most people don't understand their beliefs. They don't even know what they want in life. And because of that, how are you supposed to get something if you haven't really come to terms with what exactly you want? And the whole point of this video is manifestation is kind of bullshit. Things don't exactly go the way you want just because you say they're going to go the way you want. But what it does is it helps you understand what you want, and it helps you truly do the work necessary to get there. And okay, listen, a lot of the things that you want in life are not realistic, and that's completely okay. But you doubting and sitting here and questioning whether something is realistic or not is not productive time. If you really want it and it's happened to somebody else, you debating on how realistic something is bro, what are you doing? You could just be spending that time increasing your chances of that happening to you. If I wanted to become a content creator and live off content full time, I could have two options. I can either sit here and be like, damn, that's pretty hard. How many people have succeeded? Do I need permission? Look for permission to tell me that this is a realistic enough thing to chase. Or I could start putting out content and increase my chances. I could start building my skills and increase my chances. Because like everything that's worth getting is rare. Everything that's worth getting is rare. But you need to put yourself in a position where it's not going to be rare for you. And if you never even consider it or even have that communicated to yourself clearly that, hey, I want this, how are you going to get to where you want to get to? It's damn near impossible. And I realized this year more than anything. I went to DreamCon. I said I was going to meet Kai Cenat, and I did. And it was very unlikely, but I went down to the game that he was going to be at. I slowly went down to the thing. I slowly went down to him. I worked my magic talking to people to get there. The chances were still low, but I spent so much time on the chances increasing. And I didn't even think about not meeting Kai Cenat because that doesn't help me get to meeting Kai Cenat. And this is the other thing I realized. I need to be okay with being wrong. I need to be okay with manifesting a goal and it not working. I need to be okay with that in order for me to actually get it to work. The reason why is because then I'm not spending so much time thinking about if whatever I'm trying to chase is realistic because I'm okay with being wrong. And like, dude, when you're trying to chase a dream, you got to be okay with the fact, and if you can be okay with the fact that you might be wrong about it. But that should push you more towards it, not farther away from it. Because then it's like, dude, I'm going to try this, and I'm not going to spend any energy thinking about whether it's realistic or not, because it could not be realistic. But instead of spending time thinking about it, for the duration that I've set, I'm going to spend time achieving. And then, once the duration that I've set is over, I'm going to have a period of reflection and decide what I'm going to do. And then I can think about what's realistic and what's not realistic. But if somebody is trying to run a marathon, or if somebody's trying to do a sprint race with another Olympian, they don't spend time during the sprint race thinking about how far they are from the line. They spend time running, and they think about how they can run faster. Dude, everyone who sits there in Olympics and does sprint races against each other, they all think they're going to get first place. They all think they're going to win. Most of them, except one person, is wrong. But that's just how it is. They spend time, they commit themselves to something. They spend the time during that commitment focusing entirely on how to run faster. And then when the results come in, the results come in. They have a period of reflection. They were wrong, which is okay, and they try again. But the worst thing you can do is sit there and in the middle of running think about, man, am I going to make it or not? No, when you're in the race, you need to run. And that's what I think manifestation does. Because if you sit here and you stop that dumbass voice in your mind thinking, am I going to do this, from talking by saying I'm going to do this and really believing it, you're spending your energy on how to get there instead of if I'm going to get there. Because the if I'm going to get there just is such a useless thought, bro. It's from ego. Like, I want to make it as a biggest creator by June 2026. Every time I think about if that's possible is a slap in the face to myself. It doesn't matter how unrealistic or realistic it is. That's a dumbass thing to think about. I need to be spending all my energy on how I can get there and visualizing it and manifesting. So I think manifestation is still kind of bullshit, if I'm being completely honest, but it's helpful for the specific way of it makes you focus on the right things. I don't think you can pull something into existence. I think we're always living with an amount of self-doubt that cucks us all the time from opportunities and things we need to achieve. And manifestation, thank you, Coco, for the subscription. I'm offline, that's interesting. But manifestation, what that does is it makes you shut up that dumbass voice that's not helpful and focus on what you can control, which is how. You need to be focusing on how instead of if. Is the thing I'm trying to understand. Stop worrying about if, and be okay with being wrong. And when I take this pledge of, hey, I want to become a huge creator and live full-time, do full-time by June 2026, I'm not going to worry about if anymore. I'm going to make a commitment. And instead, I'm going to worry about how. Because there is a chance that I can get there. So how can I maximize that chance? And when the race is over, I can reflect on whether I lost or won, but I'm still in the race. And so are you.